Good evening, Mr. Sam Hauser, Mr. Leslie Benzies, and Mr. Strasselnik. It is 1948, 1948, or 7:48 p.m. here on the East Coast. And gentlemen, I just want to get things kicked off here by saying congratulations on all your success. Uh, Sam Hauser, congratulations on Rockstar. You know how long it's been going on for 20 years. That's totally incredible. You know all the success that you've had. Leslie, I've definitely been watching you from afar, and everything that's been going on with Build a Rocket Boy and everywhere in Mind's Eye, and I'm very intrigued by it. I think it's absolutely incredible. It's truly going to be evolutionary, revolutionary, you know, and many things. It's just something that's so incredible, and I'm looking forward to that. And finally, Strauss Zelnick, congratulations to all you and all your success as a businessman. You know, I know coming from a business acumen, this presentation ought to have some, professionalism visible. So I certainly want to make sure that that's the case. So congratulations on just your company. Take Two Interactive altogether. You know, revenue streams are doing well. GTA Online's doing well. Everyone's happy. Well, I mean, I'd say, yeah, I'd say, I, ideally, in an ideal business environment, people, yeah, I guess there's some things that leave more to be desired because there's a lot of market volatility right now, but with the IPs, what you're working with, it's incredible that GTA Online has been sustained for such a long time. You're talking about a decade of evolution, of expanding and enhancing. Am aware that there's going to be a new DLC that's going to be live on the 13th, which is Grand Theft Auto Online San Andreas Mercenaries. So that's really awesome. You're keeping things going, and that goes more towards Rockstar. But that's you're the parent company, so you oversee and look at all that, and you look at the data. You look at all the copies of GTA 5 that have been sold, all the copies of RDR2 that have been sold. It's incredible. And Red Dead Redemption 2 is your most successful IP to this date. Arthur Morgan is. I didn't play that. I was shame on me. But there's plenty of a pulse, plenty of breaths. Plenty of time left to make something amazing happen. And the situation here is, I'm sure you probably, first of all, I'm sitting in the chair in the bedroom under the roof that I've been where I was about 3 years prior. I'm a big, it's something I've blogged about a lot, where there's a lot of struggle, there was a lot of strife, there was a lot of stress, and which is why I kind of have this thing going called Project Survive, which is ultimately a short story myself, which was erected when my father passed from a heart attack, which you'll recall because I blogged about that many times. But 2019 to the present, 2023 and beyond, and I call it Project Survive because it's basically the three different phases. The first one being struggle, the second one being survival, and the eventual third phase being success, which is obviously what I'm aiming towards and what I want to get to and what I'm fighting for. What I call the gamer's paradise. Your paradise, your Vice City, you could say like that. Your new Vice, just, following your dream, following your path, to the Gold Master's path and shaking history's hand. That's a big thing that I've talked about over these past 3 years. The situation was, I was staying at a hotel. I was staying at a Best Western for about 3.5 years. 3.5. Well, no, excuse me, 2 years. 2 years, yeah, 2 years. It seems longer than that, but 2 years. And I was originally staying there with my sister, And what basically went down there was on the 29th of July 2021. She got guardianship because the conditions didn't call for us going back home. She got guardianship. My sister's acting guardian at the time. Her name was Brittany. Just say her first name. She said, "No, conditions aren't right. You're going to be doing a hotel hopping. You're going to do a hotel hopping trail. So we're going from hotel to motel, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth." And we did that for about 2 years. We stayed in hotels, motels, some of which left more to be desired. Others which weren't the Ritz, weren't 5-star. They're about 2-star accommodations, lodging, and that we held our own in them, and we made a bunch of wonderful memories and stories. And it became well, there's some thunder coming in here because it's been really really hot here. Just turn my AC off over there so you guys can hear me well, and I'm sure you can, because something that's really really amazing is when I first started vlogging, I was very reserved. I couldn't say boo. I couldn't get myself in front of the camera if my life depended on it. And now it's just like bam, I'm just doing it just like that. Because when you do things more, you get more confidence. You get more experience, and that experience stays with you. That experience stays with you, and it's what you keep. And when you have to go through something that's tough, you don't crash and burn and don't back down, look the other way. You take life headstrong, head on. And that's a big thing, because that came from my dad. He always said, get out of your own way, do things, do it, get on it, stay on it. So that's where don't back down, look the other way, take life headstrong, head on comes from. And that's something that I said to my sister, because I was her caretaker. I'll go back to the very beginning for a moment. I lost my father from acute cardiac arrest, atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease officially, that, a heart attack from plaque in the arteries but there was other factors. There was stress, there was some alcoholism, there was a lot of, there was some anger, because he had a very, very tough upbringing, and he had to bring himself up. And my mother stepped into the picture. They were soulmates. Rest is history. Loved each other. Didn't matter how much they argued like cats and dogs. They loved each other. They could toss their rings and putting the rings right back on. They were reconciliatory. They were going to hit it. They were going to do it. And they were going to keep moving forward, even if it was a half step. That's another thing I'm saying. Even if it's a half step, you're going to keep moving forward. And it's true. So, when my dad passed, after that, it was pretty much, it was a downward spiral here in this house. I was my expectation that my mother was going to take it the worst. Second to that would be me, and then thirdly, and hopefully, because my sister had special needs. Wonderful, wonderful soul, most wonderful person you'd ever meet. Got a win about her, got her dad in her, but she's a total sweetheart. She's wonderful. Wonderful time, infectious, I forgot, infectious, pure innocent infectious, that's what I said, pure innocent infectious, forever. And so I just knew at the very beginning that it was a dark. There's a lot of melancholy. It was dark. It was very, very tough. And my mother essentially lost herself. She went into psychosis. She didn't want to admit it. It was very, very consistent with psychotic episodes. There's 3 phases of it. One's the adromal phase. I can't remember what the second one is. And the third one is recovery. But the second one's kind of like the heightened phase. You get more psychotic symptoms, and then recovery is when you get treatment, medication, everything like that. Which I can promise you, I tried with my mother. I was going through this 2020, which was a hellish year. I mean, my dad passed 2019. I'm gonna take us back for a second. 2016, my mother has a total hysterectomy. She's got an 8-week recovery, 8 timeline. So about 3 months. 2.5 months, 3 months, she gets through that. The next month in 2017, now 2016, 2017, my sister changes. She's having all these neurological changes. She's diagnosed with PCOS, which stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. What that is you basically get cysts on your ovaries, and it's very, very painful. Very, very painful. You have some You get some abdominal bloating. So you get some weight there. You gain a lot of facial hair. You also lose hair, and it stops your period. It stops the woman's period from happening. So egg dropped with fallopian tube. Simulation of pregnancy, basically that. So yeah. And so that happens. My mother's hysterectomy 2016. My sister 2017. She's in a hospital for 2 weeks. Excuse me. March to April 2017. Next year, 2018, we got What Happens to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas in Parkland, Florida, cruise and all that. And some other stuff goes down. 2019, my dad passes. 2020, COVID. And you cut to July of 2020, the 14th to be exact. It was a Saturday. My mother starts going crazy. Checking out a reality, being very, very suspicious. One of the symptoms of psychosis is actually called suspiciousness. It's the research I conducted. Suspicious behavior. Just things that they don't normally do, that are out of the ordinary, talking to themselves, checking out a reality. And my mother's looking at the sky, doing all that, stuff like that, mediumship, everything like that. This phone is going to absolutely burn up, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all this. But yeah, that all happens. That goes through 2021. We thought 2020 is the worst. My mother goes through in and out of hospital 5 months. Discharge, comes back here, settles back into her habit, yelling, screaming, raging, cussing, walking around naked. One time I see her out in the driveway naked. She's got the like, you better watch out. You better watch out. And like she's completely possessed. It was awful. Totally, totally awful. And my sister gets guardianship, 2021. And then from that point, we're doing our me and my sister are doing our hotel trail, and we do that up until the 2nd of March, 2023. So this year, my sister moves out of our third room in the Best Western we stayed at, because we stayed at 3 rooms. This is our third and final room. She's there. We are there for about a couple of months, almost just under a year. We celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving there. Her birthday, Father's Day. Her birthday, Father's Day were on the same day last year. We do all that up. I had a nice party, everything. Vlog about that. Take some nice pictures of her. She moves out on the 2nd of March. And then from that point, I just stay in the hotel. I really want to have some time to myself, because I've had a Comfort Keepers, which is a wonderful respite care agency. They come in, they do stuff that basically I can't do for my sister. Some incontinence, personal care, showering, all that stuff. Everything, all that though, I covered. I took care of her for 3 years. I got in there and did the nitty gritty, because my dad did that, took care of his paraplegic brother. So I'm always under the assumption, what, I could do that because my dad did. He was an enabler to help me do that. So I do all that. I got providers coming in from respite providers coming in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all over the place. I barely can keep up with myself. Some days I don't brush my teeth. Other days I don't even freaking shower. It's terrible. I'm having a whole bunch of fast food and soda, so I'm loading up on sugar and carbs, which is never a good thing, because all it's going to do is make you fat. And it's not healthy, especially as you get older, because you got to help out your body, and your metabolism starts slowing down. You live a sedentary lifestyle. Put those two together, no bueno, no good at all. So, yep, that happens. My sister's resource coordinator has a resource coordinator. She was a former teacher, and it was very, very tough at times to deal with her. I'm going to be very, very honest with you, because she was very kind of pushy. And she told me to do this, that, everything else. Okay, I recommend this, I recommend that. Me and my sister really didn't have time to ourselves. We had a few days. Then it was Comfort Keepers. The resource coordinator, Caitlin was her name, would come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every single day. I get emails saying, okay, this is when the next visit's going to be, when I'm going to come. And then I would start it off, because I still had my car at the time, because I had my dad's Hyundai Sonata 2017 repossessed, because my mother, when in her psychosis deal, got behind everything, checked out of reality. Car payment goes completely over. They repossess it in our hotel parking lot. Same day, 30th of June, 2022, we get a Jeep, 3.7 liter 05 Jeep Liberty. Almost every problem you could think of. Get that for $1,800. My sister's resource coordinator says, "Okay, we want to get you in a car right now. I'm going to pick a few options. You choose one." She had an old 99 Silverado, or a 99 GMC or Silverado. So I took the Jeep, and it had all these problems. I was completely screwed over. Everything had expired a month prior, so it was June. So registration, inspection, you're gonna have minimal registration, insurance here, the bare minimum insurance in my state. Inspection sticker, insurance, everything was expired. So that on top of that car, check engine light, it had a speedo problem, speedometer basically seized up, so I didn't know what my speed was going on the highway. So I almost crashed into someone one time. You get the travel in the passing lane. I kind of dozed off a little bit because I was so dead tired. I got into the passing lane and just nearly avoided a collision. Passing lane, then I get back in the traveling lane, because you're supposed to only go in the passing lane when you pass people. So yep, there was that. The Jeep had paid $1,800 for it. Had a lot of problems. Had road rash. Had a transmission module that was gone. It didn't have battery side post. So it didn't start all the time. Wasn't guaranteed it was going to start. So it was horrible in the winter. That got me very, very frustrated. The brakes had a problem. The brakes weren't bled. What that means is basically that was poorly done. A master cylinder, which controls the pressure in the brake system. I thought there was a problem with that. Wasn't going to get it checked by a mechanic, but if the problem leveled out, I just had to get used to the car. It was a little bit like a lift kit. It was a little bit higher, because it was a Jeep. And so I got used to the brakes and all that. That was fine. The brakes were just done. But the car was just in bad condition and title problem. The person who sold to me didn't want to give me a title, so it just screwed me over. And then so 3 months later, that car's towed, and I get used to just being in the hotel on my feet. Like, screw it, I have my feet. I'm used to that. So I just kind of grounded at the hotel with my sister doing it up, and I tell her her resource coordinator, and then want to try to get me back into a car. I don't want to deal with it. Well, no, I try to get myself back into a car. That's a whole song and dance. I do something called Carvana, which is supposed to be the simplest way to buy a car, which is far from the truth. There's no easy way to buy a car. It's a stressful process. It's very time consuming. You do it in a dealership, you got to spend 3 hours there, in the write all the paperwork and everything like that, negotiating all that. I tried that. I was looking at a Mercedes C300 CLA 250 Mercedes. I was looking at Lexus. I was looking at an Overland Jeep, one of the nice new ones, like 22, nice looking Jeep. I wanted to get a V8, a V8 instead of a V6. I couldn't get any of that, because you can have the best credit score, but if you don't have the history to back it up, nothing's going to happen. They're going to ask for a cosigner, and cosigners aren't easy to find, because basically it's a guarantor that says to the bank, you're going to make these payments, and this guarantees that. But problem with the cosigner is they'll go after the other person if you don't make the payments. That's so the cosigner has kind of, it's a dual responsibility between you and the cosigner. But yeah, all that, all that happens in between. I get really, really frustrated. Go to 2 dealerships. I took a picture of one. It was a Silverado dealership. There's Chevys, and they had some Buicks in there. They had a couple of convertibles and some nice new trucks. Silverado, Trail Boss, all your nice new truck, different trims, High Country. Well, Trail Boss was a trim, High Country. Really, really nice looking trucks. Colorados there, Chevy Colorados. Couldn't touch them. No way I was going to get a new, and I knew that. So I just talked with the sales guy and the finance guy, and it just ended up to me saying, I'm gonna look around. I go to another dealership, look at it, because I wanted to buy back my dad's 2019 Toyota Tundra, 5.7 liter, nice truck, off-road, limited, so it's got chrome handlebars. I said, I want to do this out of my dad. Okay, no, I'll drive Tacoma. So I'll look for a Tacoma, 21, 22, something like that. No, I have never driven a truck before. I've never driven a truck before, so I'm not going to do that. So I'd say to dealers, oh, when can you be here? When can you be here? Because they want to get you in there, ask you what you need in the car, schedule a test drive. They want to make a sale. They want to get you in there, make a sale, sometimes put you in a car you can't afford. So that never worked out. I just settled. I said, I don't need wheels in my feet. I said, screw it. Because I got so freaking and I tried to get a 4.7 liter Crown Vic. Nice older cars. Cop's best friend and Crook's worst enemy. Cops and Crooks. 4.7 liter V8. Nice car. Really nice car. Older car. I like older cars. We had a Grand Marquis, kind of like the same thing, just Lincoln Mercury at the time, their version of it. But I just got settled with that, and I'm here. You hear something? Oh, I could swear I heard something. Maybe it was just the squeakiness in this chair. And my mother's got, she's got recovery, basically something that she does, counseling, to help her stay in her, keep her level-headed and grounded. That's where she is right now. I don't think she'll be back until 9. But, yeah, that's kind of my story. And then after that, so I got 10 grand, and I'm living off 10 grand. I don't have a job. I guess I'm just thinking, it's a silly reason, I know, but I don't want to, just minimum wage isn't gonna cut it, so I'm just gonna live off this.